What it do, what it is, ladies and gentlemen.
What's poppin'?
This is the Peace Dealer.
And the
And
neighborhood hope dealer.
oh, yes. And we are back with When Peace Meets Hope, episode 2. This, of course, is the comeback show here for you. And honestly, I'm just so glad to shout out to Kim Lee. I'm just so glad to be doing this while I'm not dying. And
Listen, welcome back from the dead, Lazarus. What's poppin'? We're happy to have you.
by the way, when that happened, like I hadn't had got tested, so I didn't want to admit that that's what I had. I just figured I just got some kind of shit. But yeah, I was. I'm glad to like in retrospect, be really feel really good. And yes, please, y'all do need to roll up and get whatever you need. But yeah, the reason why I hesitated is because the monoclonal antibody treatment that I have
Yeah.
is a 3-month immunity that ends like on the 11th of November.
Yeesh. So
Yeah.
question. So what's one thing you learned since you had like it could be about the vid or just generally in life. Like since the last we met, since yes, I guess since the last we met. So you can include the vid experience up until now. What's something that you really learned that you want to take moving forward?
It was more of an extension of what I learned 2020
Mm,
and just a deeper acceptance of who I am, even
mm,
down to me getting it. Because I don't want to get too astrological here and use
yeah.
again and like, but basically recovering from the vid felt like an intense awakening process
Mm.
where in this weakened state, like normally when I wake up, and so like while I had the vid, like I had no energy to do all that, and like
Hmm.
I lost so much weight. In fact, I call it the COVID diet because I'll be like I'm on the vid diet. Like it's not, it doesn't feel the best, but like I just was like very low energy. I even lost my belly weight before I gained it all back eating nothing but fast food. But other than that, yeah, like uh awakening from that made me more clear on the purpose of that and how that was used to actually trigger deeper awakening in me and moving forward with that too.
Well, I'm happy you didn't die. And let me tell you, I felt so awful because it was my birthday that day, and so I was like drunk, and everybody I went back and read the comments. I felt like a horrible human being. Everybody was like, Mike was dying. I was like, damn, he was dying. But I drank one for you all to pour some out for you. But I was feeling it. So
Oh my god. Yeah. And like I wasn't expecting it to act up too while we were doing it. It just
yeah.
progressively which is
Most people don't expect it to act up while they're doing it, but it just happens that way, Mike. It just stops working. Like, wake up. So,
and the craziest thing about it is I'm supposed to get my first dose uh like in a week. And
so how do you feel about it? Are you scared? Are you nervous? What do you feel? How you feel?
I was nervous at first because
Okay.
when I was recovering, like my mom is a pediatrician, so I asked
Okay.
her about all the myths surrounding mRNA, and she
Okay.
dispelled a lot of it for me. And I was like, if I get it, then I want you to give it to me. And so
Okay.
we had planned a trip to go down. But since then, I came into some new information
Okay.
that I was nervous because I didn't want her to feel like, you were down to do it now and this is such a risk. But I'm not getting it. I'm going to what's personally different between me and the rest of my family who's got it is I'm the only one who's recovered from it. So I
Okay.
actually have built, and I'm not going to
Mhm.
say the word because I don't want this to get struck. So
Okay.
it is
All
what it
right.
is. Yeah, I mean, and this is the most important thing of what you're saying. When I recovered from this, I realized it was tied to the nature of my soul.
Mm.
And so this is very deeply personal for me. I feel
Okay.
like this is one of my greatest trials, because even if I go visit them in Christmas, I'm going to be put more at risk, where they're going to be asymptomatic. If they have it, they're not going to have symptoms, and I could be at more risk to get reinfected. So I don't want to necessarily dismiss the science, but I also want to practice what I preach.
Mm,
And what recovering taught me is that there's an eternal nature to my soul, where now that I've awakened, I can brave these elements. And
mm.
it wouldn't be right for me to be on this platform telling people believing your superpowers, and then at the first, chance where I have the ability to live that, I'm, running to get vaccinated just so this is really more of a challenge to me too. And to really live.
And that's such a man. There's so many interesting takes and interesting ways we could go down this. I told you one of the purposes of us having this show is fun, it's cool, it's goofy, but we're gonna talk about we some goofy hot nerds, so we gonna nerd out. We're gonna talk about some nerdy shit. So I'm not gonna talk too much, but in an effort not to get a strike, but isn't it like this is factually this is something that was put out. I researched things, but it was saying that those who have gotten the jab, um, it's going to the effects are going to wear off, and you're going to have to keep getting it. Is that like have you heard that or read that?
No, that's a really good question. So what I understand about that is, because that's what I was worried about. That's why I wanted to wait a year before
Yeah.
I contemplate getting it. Because it's like, if certain people have gotten two of them, and now they're being told, well, you're no longer fully if you don't have three. But I think
Mm-hmm.
officially you just need two in order to travel and stuff. So basically, the third one really completes it, and then just like a flu shot every year, you get a booster. And under that rhetoric, that's no different than what
Okay.
happened with other stuff. But
Okay. Okay.
but the thing, and I don't want to say the word because it might get struck,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
just the whole notion of like dependence. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I feel like if someone wanted to get vaccinated, they should get vaccinated. If that's
That's
convenient
true
for
feel.
them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I just feel like
We're just here to give information, like what's your
right,
experience, and we're talking to somebody now. Okay, so now you're talking to somebody who's had it, who can tell you it's not a myth anymore. Who can say, okay, it's real.
exactly right.
This is how I experienced it, and based on my experiences, these are the things I'm going to do. So now you have more information to make a more informed decision.
It's different for everybody.
Yep.
So on a scale from 1 to 10, it was like a 6. It wasn't. It was very manageable.
Mm-hmm.
And like, but after going through it for a week, for the first week, I drank like emergency, and I took like certain pills, and it didn't like cure it, but it at least helped me
Mm-hmm.
get through. And then I
Mm-hmm.
had the treatment, and then so I mean but going through it, I didn't feel like my life was at risk. I just felt like my body was fighting, creating antibodies, and
Mm-hmm.
I was having the symptoms. So if I did get reinfected, I'm going to be so much stronger against it.
Because of the antibodies.
Although I have heard of stories where people did get it again and it was crazy for them. So that
Mm.
depends on their immune system. But I mean, once again, like, I feel like if that happened to me, that's a test to see if I really am made of what I feel I'm made of.
Absolutely.
Right. So we'll see.
So crazy, so crazy. Now we're back. It's the comeback show. So Mike, I'm petty Betty, Missy Mitty. So I want to talk. Let's talk real shit. We getting to know people. So me, I like to sit in the cut and watch. So what I've been watching, what I've been seeing, what I've been, Mike has, the Peazilla hot shit in these streets. People got beef with you. People feel certain ways about you. Um, we talked about this, and I even talked to you. I was like, Mike, is you an African scammer? Because I feel a little scammery, from my heart to your heart. And so I know the people won't know. I know the people want to know, what's going on because you got people popping off on you. So like how you feel because you were so you came out of the vid until you went from one battlefield to the next battlefield. How does that feel? What was that about? How you feel about that? What's going on? You good?
Well, I mean, at this stage of the game, anybody saying stuff about me, that's what I signed up for. I don't even
Mm,
notice it. I don't even
mm,
notice it because they
mm-hmm,
don't say it to my face. I
mm-hmm,
have to hear about it. So,
mm-hmm.
that I feel like as a king, like you got to choose your battles wisely. So, uh, the only thing that I'm worried about is making sure that I'm not defrauding anybody. So
Mm-hmm.
if I have scammed somebody, I need to be held accountable to that ASAP. Like that's not really
Mm.
anything that should be played with. And thank God I don't. So thank God. You know what I'm saying? People can say I'm lame. People can
Yeah,
say that whatever, but they can't say I scammed
you
nobody. They
can't.
can't say I
You
fraud
can't
anybody.
say I
It is what it is.
scammed you. I fuck with
So
that.
I'm glad you asked that because it's really such an important question. And what this taught me is, similar to what's happening to me is just a less popularized version of what happens to Ye and
Mm.
Trump. I mean, Ye just had an interview and people are going through the whole rounds
I
reacting.
haven't seen it, but apparently everybody talking Cash Money shit about it.
It's Ye. What do you expect? It's a
Okay,
Ye.
yeah, it's
It's a Ye.
okay. He did some yay. He did some Yeezus
It's
shit.
a Ye shit. Like it's the classic Ye shit, which is why they're amazing.
Okay,
So,
okay.
like, I know I say things that people are going to react very strongly to, and I'm not always going to know. I mean, I'll be saying some stuff that I think is mid and safe, and then people will be like hating me, and I won't even know. I'll be like, damn, I didn't even know this offended you.
Mm.
So, like, I know, especially with Mercury retrogrades and the Neptune square,
Mm-hmm.
people just got me fucked up. Like, people want to tell me that people have this idea of me in their head. And when I don't live to that or against that, they project on me whatever. It's
So
kind
let me tell you, let me kind of give you a reality check. A lot of people look to you, and this is why I preach this all the time. I got a good friend, and I keep telling him, heavy is the head that wears the crown. People look at you and I say this little G, not big G, because you know how I
oh,
feel
thank you,
about
thank
it.
you. Yeah,
But they look at you as a god. So they look at you as, a lot of people look at the world through this perspective or this lens. They have a Superman complex of you. They think you are supposed to do no wrong. You're supposed to, because you are the person that they look up to, you, their hero. And so when their hero shows flaws, just like people don't want to admit that, because to admit that you're their hero would mean they look up to you, and then they don't want to like you. Why would I like somebody, that hey, then
that's
we
deep.
get into human shit, you know what I'm saying?
That's so
But
deep.
but so that's, and so heavy is the head. I tell my friends all, heavy is the head that wears the crown, because like the illustration I gave to him was, you can't fight Ray Charles. Like, if you can see and they can't, no matter how belligerent, no matter if Ray Charles picks up a fucking glass bottle and tries to
Oh,
smash
I
it
see
on
what
your
you
head,
mean.
you
Right,
can't
right.
fight a person that
Yeah,
can't see, if that makes sense.
that's so deep. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you have a higher responsibility. You must always go the high road, even when you don't want to, even when you don't feel like it, even when they wrong. Fuck it, you still gotta go the high road, because you know better. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. People
That's
want
so
to be a king or a queen until it's time to do some king or queen like shit. So that's my piece of advice to you as you continue to go on this journey. It's not gonna be easy. It's not go and what I did tell him was this, and I said, listen, because one of the things you'll learn about me is I love to study kings and queens. So when you do, because sometimes you got to be like off with their head, but when you go off with their head, you take the head, you cut it off, you put it on a stake at the front of the castle so everybody can see, don't fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? But you don't do that all the time, because if you do it all the time, then people, won't take you seriously. But if you let them, roar when you need to, and then move around when you need to, quietly and peacefully, they're gonna come for you. If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping.
No, that's true. It's interesting because, like, really crossing that threshold. But the thing that kind of not freaks me out, but really makes me interested is I don't even I didn't even know that's what people are saying. Like, that didn't even brought to my attention because I'm in my own bubble or
Yeah.
world. Like,
And you know what? That's real. I'll take that. Like, and so I get that. Like, I don't, if the streets talking, I don't know, because I'm so focused on what I'm doing.
no, but
Like,
like that's why I respect you so much because like you don't hesitate to just keep it real, be like, hey, this is what's up. And I feel like if people took that attitude, then there wouldn't be all this drama and
yeah.
we can handle shit. But because I'm not too big to talk to people about it. But I feel like you said, like people see me in a certain way and I guess they feel like they can't confront or talk to me. So I'll be thinking shit is sweet. And
Mm-hmm.
meanwhile, they think I'm cursing them or hexing them or something like that.
like,
It's like,
like
wow,
abracadabra, bitch. Like I'm not even thinking
right,
about you.
right. It's like, wow, it is what it is. So that's why I was like, I guess this is just what comes with it, right? Like everything.
Yeah.
So is what it is.
But like, if you ain't got haters, you ain't popping, and that's something one of my mentors tells me all the time. I get like, I be minding my own business. I told you when I first met you, I don't like attention. Like, I get it, but I don't like it
Right.
because if eyes are on me, then I can't do what I want to do how I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get it. I get it. All
I
right.
feel like
So
I don't have the right to complain about it either because
okay.
y'all women go through it so much worse.
You think so? I don't know. Listen, okay. So pause. So it's Male Appreciation Month. So first things first, Esco put me on. I want to invite you
I
right
bet.
now to be a guest on Potheads sometime at the end of this month as a contestant on a game show. So I'm just putting that in your
Well,
ear
hold
right
on.
now.
Is are you able to do that? Am I able to come on maybe like next week before the 13th? Because I, I'm for sure doing my tolerance break
Ah,
on the
damn.
13th.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna see if I can make something shake. But so that but okay, go back to what you were saying because I'm high and I forgot.
No, you're
What was
straight. And we could still do it at the end of the month. I
mm-hmm.
just whether I smoke or not, I'm still down to do it. But yeah, I mean, um,
Oh, you said women get it harder than men, and I was saying so it's Male Appreciation Month. So
oh yeah,
I'm a huge male advocate. So like I feel like men don't love themselves as much as they should. I feel like men like I feel like y'all let these hoes take advantage of y'all because y'all don't think like women have traumatized men to think that they're the prize and men just have to cater to them. And so a man doesn't he settles very often for and that's a lot of times why men cheat because they settle for something. Because but it's all because you didn't love yourself. You didn't take the time to say, hey, no, this is not what I want. No, this is it. I'm worth more than a woman who does this or who doesn't do this or who doesn't give me
and
what I
and
want.
I hate to interrupt, but I
Go
used
ahead.
to hate when people used to say, "Oh, just love yourself more." And it's like, how do I not love myself? But like, you're right. Like now I'm starting to like see it more and get that more. I really do
Yeah.
appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. But how do you think that you said women have it harder than men? So let's talk about it. Why do you think that?
Yeah, my bad. And what I meant by that was specifically when it comes to like projections and like, having to deal with just weird people saying stuff about you. I feel like women go through it way worse just off of dick pics alone. So like I feel like it'd be unfair for me to complain because like
And you know what? I implore an unpopular opinion. I implore to ask a young lady if she receives dick pics. Like, oh my gosh, this is so much unpopular opinion. But what type of energy you putting out there? Because I ain't never got no unsolicited dick pics.
really.
I ain't nobody send me no picture of they dick that was just like, don't send that shit to me. Like, never,
That's
not.
so
I can't
interesting.
say one time because like I'm
Some
the
of them
type of
like them
person,
too, apparently.
huh?
Some women like him too. I didn't know that.
Like, I mean, what I don't know. I don't know how I would feel if I got an unsolicited dick pic, but I guess the people that meet me know, like, if I'm gonna tell them how I feel, and they might not know what that is. So, but nah, I ain't never got like, am I? And listen, my DMs don't be blowing up either. So, like, I'd be like, damn, am I ugly? Like, like, it is never going down in the DMs, my
No,
boy.
but you said something important though. You said what kind of energy are you putting out there, and it's interesting because that could be twisted to mean that the way you dress doesn't mean that you should be disrespected, and I don't think that's
Mhm.
what you said at all. You're just
Yeah.
asking like what kind of energy do you put
You
out there?
could, you could. I didn't been on Instagram in a fucking sports bra. So I mean, like, ain't nobody ever sent me an unsolicited dick pic. Now I will say some crazy things have happened to me in life. Like one time I was getting on the train and a man. So like where I go, like when I was working, I was living somewhere in Charlotte and I used to take the train to work. And a man just pulled his penis out and started jacking off in front of me. And I was like, and he chased me, he followed me that day. It was a really strange day. That was yeah, like crazy shit like that has happened to me. But like I would prefer the unsolicited dick pic than a real life dick. Like, bitch, like it was all fun and games till a real dick was in your face, you know?
That's why I always say Leo is like the main character, because that just sounds like some movie shit, or like some
It's a
sick.
movie. I keep telling folk that it's a
Wow,
movie.
wow, that's really
like,
wild.
like, what would you do if a man just pulled his dick out and started just jacking off in front of you? Just like, what would you do?
First of all, that sounds exactly like a Dave Chappelle skit when he was in the bar. I've heard him say that, and someone took people hostage. Like, I got it. I don't know if I would still off on him, or if that might even, or if I might have to be like pause, boom, or just like, or just I don't know. I'd be traumatic. I don't know if that what
like,
kind
you
of.
don't know.
Plus, it depends when I find out. Is it before he's about to nut, or is it like when he just starts? Like that could make the whole difference. That's such a really good question, because given the way things are going, you never know. You might just turn around and somebody's just like, oh God.
Yeah. Speaking of jacking off, let's talk about this ascended February. So listen, what is this and how does this work? Because so I'm serious. When I masturbate, I'm like, okay, I call it the pussy portal, and I go in the pussy portal and I just travel and think all kind of magical thoughts, change
Ooh,
the world. I like I really need to get help. Like,
right. No, not even, not at all, not even.
like,
No,
I'm like, it was an ascension process. Like,
no, because you just talked about a whole transcendent, like you said, pussy portal. That's your power right there. I'm not even gonna knock that. Like that's what's up. You're right. No, but you asked a good question, and I just want to be clear here. This is I think I've outdone myself here. I feel like Steve Jobs. Like I've innovated the whole craft and art of it. Like it really just changed my whole psychology. So I mean, personally, everything in moderation. I want
touche.
right. I want to make sure like I'm not pulling up Pornhub, watching people have sex and
I
taking
am.
lotion and pulling it up. And to each his own. Like if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. Like that's some people are visual with it. You know what I'm saying? Like some people like to see the act.
And so if you don't use lotions, are you like no hands too? You be like magic in the bottle, like genie in the bottle, like just nut. Like what kind of masturbation are you doing?
Well, see, that's the thing. I call it ascended Fabry, but it's not masturbation.
Okay.
I'm actually having sex. It's a
Okay.
form of astral, extra dimensional sex. But so I do these in the shower, right?
Okay.
Maybe after I
How
work.
many showers do you take a day?
No, that's a good question. Because some days what I'll do is I'll try. Well, not some days, but like in a few times, because you get to what this does is you get to learn your body. You get to learn the rhythms of your body. So like maybe sometimes you can't even do it more than once because you had a powerful session, but like sometimes I might force myself to do it as many times as I can, which is not that much, just so I can get to that point where there's rejection. When you might do it enough when it's like, oh my gosh, I feel nasty, like I don't want to do this anymore. And then you go on to other, polarity. But personally, whenever I normally take a shower, after I work out, before I go to sleep, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
This is really more like a core exercise, because I'm not just taking my hands and whacking my meat. It's actually more like an
You
imaginary.
use both hands like that? Like,
No. I don't even use my hands like that. That's the thing. It's a different technique. It's on some whole other shit. So basically, what it's teaching me to do is through imagination, because the subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's imagined and what's real. So I'm exploiting orgasm and intent, right? So I'm actually just in my imagination instead of just like this is why I say I upgrade. Like instead of just getting stimulated or porn, I'm connecting to a soul vibration.
Okay.
And like the cool thing about this is I've actually learned how to feel different energies and how different moon signs and sun signs feel, right? But like before, I never really was sensitive like that. But it's more of a core exercise to where I'm sustaining, that passion, but I'm literally working out my core. But I'm literally having sex. It's hilarious. It's like it looks like with someone invisible, but like I'm more in my imagination connected to that energy, and you could actually like feel the vibe. But of
I
course,
get,
it's all imagination, though, right? You
yeah,
know,
I get it. And you're a, but you said something that's key, and I think a lot of people, that's why your magic probably works and a lot of other people's magic doesn't. And you say the subconscious does not really know the difference between reality and your imagination. It
right.
just like, yeah, so like lean into it, feel it, believe it. Like one of the keys to manifestation is believing it. They tell you to feel it like you already have it, and then you'll be able to manifest it. So
In fact,
that
that
thing.
thank you. Like Baki's training, it's like shadow
Mhm.
boxing. It's like I'm shadow boxing the pussy, and not only that,
He say I'm
it's like
shadow boxing a pussy.
seriously, like because of this, it's I think of it more as an exercise. It's a core exercise that I
Okay.
last longer in bed now because I'm not just like going to a climax as much as like I'm legitimately having sex. It's just in a more it's not physical intercourse as
Mm.
much as it's legitimately energetic intercourse. And the thing about it is I'm tricking my body into having an orgasm.
Mm.
So in a sense, it's really thinking that I had sex.
But
And so real intercourse will give you the full benefits, right? But this tricks my body. So maybe up for an hour in that state, I smoke weed. I change my mind, and then I'm exploiting the orgasm to get high in that state and then just intend anything I want to manifest.
and
And
so,
I don't even think there's anything scientific that backs that up, but that's just like my ritual.
I think when you're able to like catch a nut like that, it's just like, why do I even need another human though? Like,
No, okay, yes. Hold on, that's so very important. That's so very important. That's why like
like,
coming out of this cycle, like I'm in a position where I'm really coming out of that, and I've got to a place where I never really needed it, but like that's very important because it's not that I don't necessarily feel fully like that, but there have been instances where I'm eager to turn down sex because it's like I don't need it. Like I could do that. You feel me? And I don't. It could be unhealthy if it goes to that, but I'm more excited because it's like I'm more prepared to have sex now than ever. It's like I've been training for an Olympic event. But I love that you said that, especially because damn, I don't want to forget what I was saying before, but um, as far as like yeah. Because of this, that I can. I didn't even know that I can have multiple orgasms.
what?
Like, thank you. Yes, like that's what I'm saying. Like this is on some whole nother level of shit. Because before, when I did the old fapping way, where I would watch Pornhub or I would watch porn, like I would beat it and I'll beat it, and then I'd have that big nut, and then boom,
And then
and
you were done.
right, but now I'm multi-orgasmic. Like this is tantric as fuck because what I'm doing is I'm forcing my body to like stay with the rhythm, and I'm releasing the desire to nut versus like feeling that pleasure and then keeping that rhythm and going for as long as I can. And it's like literally having sex, but like I didn't know I can have more than one orgasm at a time, and
Well,
that was
welcome.
huge game changer, huge game
And
changer.
so and so I feel like this, and so so I was celibate out for a really long time. And that's when I kind of tapped into my sexual energy, my masturbation energy, like pleasuring myself, allowing myself to feel good outside of another person, because I was determined not to depend on another person for pleasure.
Right.
And what that did was, especially for like relationships and things like that, it freed me up to be with who I wanted to be with, because I no longer look for sex. Wasn't the thing that got me. Like
Right.
even if you had good sex, it still was like, okay, like I could fuck myself just as good as you fuck me. So what do you give me? Like it gives me options. It to turn down. Like it just it kind of it frees you up. And so I think one of the most dangerous things that women can do and men can do is
Amen.
it is explore sexual freedom. That freedom to really just to feel pleasure, to allow themselves to get to. First, I feel like if you can't give yourself pleasure, then you can't really receive pleasure, if
That's
that
true.
makes sense. Like if
Yeah,
you don't know what really feels good to you, you can't teach anybody else how to make you feel good.
that's so
Hello,
true.
somebody.
Yeah.
So So like you have to, have that pleasure, but like it's just a shackle of like I can please me as good as anybody else. So I'm not a prison to I'm not a prisoner to anybody's good dick or anything like that. Cause
No, but I think what you said is so important because there was a phase that I broke out of where there was toxic projection where like I feel like this process helped me work through my shadows and my whatever toxic habits I had, but like that is a real reality where you can feel like, oh, I don't need to do it with anybody else because I could just do this. And that's why I always like put it in its place where I'm still humble enough to be like, yeah, there's certain people who, and that's why I drew that conclusion because I would actually have real sex with people, and after the real sex, it's like, yo, I could have done better by myself.
Yeah, like I want to go home and rub this shit out, get this nut out. Yeah, damn.
Like, and that blew my mind. Like, holy shit! Like, and this is real sex, but I know a lot of that was my mind state too. And if I revisited that, I would appreciate being with a real person so much more. So I know I could take accountability to know that why it wasn't as good. It was also where my mind was at. So that's really what I'm coming the next time. I kind of do that, but I really feel like more. And I really appreciate you too, because this is the first time I've ever been able to like talk about that like that too, and share this.
That's one of my gifts. I get people comfortable enough to talk about anything.
But yeah, I mean that's really how I see it. I call it like soul sex, and I'm not necessarily gonna front like it's still something I do on my own. Like I'll accept what it is, but on another level, I'm not alone. Like it's a whole experience.
It is. Listen, I have a masturbation problem. Like, listen, but but I'm getting it worked on. Like I want to find somebody who's worth me not like who make me not want to touch myself. Like that's how you win. Like I don't want to touch myself after I fuck you, or I want to touch myself with you or some shit. Like I don't know.
I think for the first time ever in my life, this anxiousness that I usually have, like feeling like, oh, should I have sex with someone or not? Which really is just maybe an aspect of toxic or hypermasculinity, but like I'm so much, and really it's just me being more mature, right? I'm really so much more interested in being a friend. And but hold on, here's the thing. Like I really appreciate, meeting someone and then hitting it off sexually instantly. I have no problem with that. But like now I'm more interested in like really getting to know somebody instead of rushing into stuff, which I never really used to be like that. I wouldn't hang out with people because it's like, and this is really fucked up, but it's like I'm not going to be your friend if we don't have benefits. And that's a really toxic attitude. So that's another reason too. But like,
he's a fuck boy, Mike.
No,
you're a recovering fuck boy.
I would never
what the vid was. It was the fuck boy. It was
a
the fuck boy sweating out of you. It was
I never told anybody that. I never told anybody. I've never told any woman that. But like that was my attitude as far as like that. Why I would kind of be more of a hermit or just like, you know what I mean? But it is what it is.
And so I say, learn the lesson. And so that's a good thing. You learn the lesson the easy way. So I take things extremely slow, but I got beat up. So if you could just learn the lesson, like I just slowly get to know people, and you learn your lesson a different way. So that's a awesome way to learn it. But and the take your time to get to know people. I realized like a friendship. Like I wanna, if I ever get married, I want to marry my best friend. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like, but I really mean my best friend. I really mean my nigga. Like we just cut up like we kids. Like that's what I want to marry. But people don't get that because they settle for, because especially men, because y'all don't know y'all worth. Y'all be like, well, I can only get the church girl. It's a church girl that's a slut too. You know what I'm saying? Don't settle. Like men settle, they don't know their worth. They let women take advantage of them. They don't love themselves. And I get so upset. Like I be like, fuck all that shit.
That was my biggest lesson, learning my worth and really owning it and being willing to be patient. You know what I mean? And not really, if things go fast, cool, but like not forcing or rushing it. And this is so essential because it's the truth. And especially being with your best friend, like I totally resonate. I'm totally with that too. And that's really, everything that I said about friends with benefits, where we can still be cool, but like it's even deeper than that. Like me being a hermit made me realize I have super homies. Like there are people who don't have friends. There are people who like go out and are legit lonely. Like it's everything for them to actually meet people. And God has blessed me with legitimate super homies, real friends. And I think I really just have more of like avoidant personality disorder because like I'm not lonely. I'm alone.
I just like to be by my motherfucking self. I don't like humans. Get away from these people. Yes.
I would never say that like I don't have friends. My problem is I'm not a friend. I'm not a good enough friend. I don't even call my sisters or my parents. Like
you
I
gotta
don't
do better.
Yeah, that's some real shit. That's some real shit. Like I can at least admit that. Like I could be a better friend. That's what I'm focusing on being more. Just being more there for people. Whether they reach out to me, like family shouldn't have to ask for that. And friends are family too. So it is what it is.
And so I'm called to say this, but so what a way to end your Saturn return. Remember when I met you, I told you my Saturn return. I had a miscarriage, all that shit. I think you're at the end of your Saturn return. It was 31. Everybody thinks Saturn returns in, and I never tell them any different until they out of it. Because while you in it, you gonna think you out of it, but when you out of it, you gonna be like, oh, okay, that's what that was. Yeah. So so everybody's like you thought you were done with it, but you're done with it. The end of your Saturn return was at the vid, my boy.
The vid, I like that. Right.
Yeah, and then you had that really transformational, like you said, that like even you said it, the cocoon that you were in. You came out of, you're coming out of that cocoon. And so this is a perfect way to come out of the cocoon where people get to see Mike, the nigga that had the vid, you know what I'm saying, and not the peace dealer, not the astrological genius, the fuck boy who fat. You know what I'm saying? Who be like,
I was skinny after the vid. Like I was going to work out and like all that. I just went back to smoking and eating fast food and like postponing the tolerance break. It's actually really bittersweet. But honestly, at the same time, in a really, really weird way, I don't regret it at all because like it's gonna end up working out. It's ending up working out, and thankfully, since then I'm like in month 2 of my workout regimen. So the upper body's starting to come in.
I tell people all the time on their fitness journey. So first off, even when you go, this is so many different things. I'm gonna try to stay in it. But first off, this is gonna be random, but I'm gonna try to remember what we were saying. Do you eat booty, Mike?
I don't even do anal sex. Like I realized I'm vanilla. And honestly, I kind of feel uncomfortable expressing this, but I didn't even know that like men and women can get turned out in sex. I think I need to be turned out in sex. Like I need a Scorpio or something to turn me to a carnal demon. Like I feel like there's certain things once I experience I'll be cool with, but yeah, I'm not like missionary vanilla. I like doggy style, but like I don't even really do anal. But I'm not opposed to that. I do that before I eat booty, and I'm gonna just be real. I'm just that old soul conservative traditional. That's why I'm not even gonna knock it because I haven't tried it. But it's like I'm judging y'all, and y'all is nasty. But I heard it feels good though. That's the thing. So I don't know.
I've definitely eaten an ass before. I mean, listen, men like they ass ate. I've definitely had my ass eaten. But so I ask you that. So one, because the video you had, the thing that Cito had retweeted of you, the booty on a booty, I eat your booty on a plate. That's why. So I wrote that down. But I said all that to say you were thicker.
Shout out to Dormtainment.
And you lost so much weight. Like even from that video, if you look at yourself in that video and then you look at yourself now, you lost so much weight. But yeah, I had wanted to ask you if you ate booty.
I love it.
Have you seen The Harder They Fall yet?
The Harder They Okay, no, but like for something that's come out just recently, I keep on hearing really good shit about it. I heard
Yeah,
somebody say, I wish the people who start in every movie.
yeah.
I've only heard 3 things about it and they're really good. So it looks like I have to watch that.
Yeah, you gotta. So it's the only thing that Jay-Z ever put on Instagram.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how you know
yeah,
it's he got an Instagram.
yeah.
Like what?
It made me want to watch movies again. Like that was a movie. Yeah,
What?
yeah. It made you want to. You was like, oh shit, this is a good. Like this is a good ass movie. It
Who
was. It was.
directed it?
It
Who
was.
produced it?
So it was. So Jay-Z. They kept retweeting who it was from. His name was like. It started with a J. Just go look it up. Jeremy Jarrell, something like that. It was some young black man. And when I say it was the most phenomenal movie I had ever seen in my lifetime. I'm so happy I'm
What?
alive to see it. It was
Is
really,
that good?
it was phenomenally done. Like it got to win something. So that's your homework. So not this week, but the week after that, we got our next show. And we'll talk about it. So that's your homework. You gotta watch it, and we
Wow.
gotta talk about it. It's
It's
really
on
good. So
Netflix, right?
yeah, it's on Netflix. It's
That's
really good. Regina
crazy.
King is in it. She fucking slayed that shit. Every actor in that bitch slayed that shit. Like it was fun. It was phenomenally done. Like you wanted to watch it. You wanted to watch it to the end. So if you haven't seen it, The Harder They Fall, that's the thing. That's
Shit, I feel like I need to watch it on a theater screen or something, then, because I just have
yeah.
like
I got a big screen. Oh, what do we watch it? Did we watch it downstairs or we watch it downstairs on my big screen? Yep.
where I'm gonna see if they are airing it in any theater or something like that. All right, cool.
All right. So now you gotta talk. Now talk to me. Ask me some random shit. This gotta be a two-sided. This gotta be a two-way street, my boy. I'm about to open this other White Claw.
So what's your go-to drinks?
So technically, listen, I don't really drink. I'm actually really I work a lot. I work pretty much 24/7 all day, every day. I kind of set up my life to be that way. I figured that I'm young and I have a lot of energy, so I work a lot. If I do anything, I smoke.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
here. Same here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but if I do drink, because I like. So if so, when I work, I work. When I party, I party. When I'm partying, you know I'm partying. When I'm working, you know I'm working. So when so listen, when you clicked off, you fucked me up. But Scotch. So I'm a Scotch drinker. I drink like Glenlivet or so actually. So I'm an alcohol snob, to be honest. So I'm a single malt drinker. I like Glenlivet. It's a higher quality Scotch, but my actual favorite Scotch is a mixed Scotch, which is thought lesser of in the Scotch community, which is what is it called? Johnny Walker Black. That's my favorite Scotch. It tastes delicious. I only like my shit neat. I drink it straight.
Straight, no chaser. Okay.
No, like yeah. So I sip
So
it. It's the old
Scotcher
man
is not bourbon.
bourbon. So Scotch is not bourbon.
Okay.
Scotch is Scotch. Bourbon is
Is
bourbon.
it whiskey?
It's Scotch.
It's Scotch. Okay, it's its own thing. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. It's Scotch, and so and that's what I prefer to drink. It's an expensive drink. It's an old rich white man drink. For the most part.
I want to awaken my Cap Moon and just start drinking like just like expensive liquors.
But you gotta learn how to drink those things though. You gotta get you a decanter. Sip it. It's a drink. Sip. Just sip. And if you get ice in it, get like 1 cube of ice. Don't ever go to you get it neat. You don't ever mix Scotch with anything. Don't ever ask for like a Glenlivet and Coke. No, like somebody will look at you. A real drinker will look at you like, get this peasant out of here, okay? Well, who is this guy? Is he a joke? It would probably be me too. I'd probably ask you, are you a joke? So but so Scotch. I'm a Scotch drinker. But I do like. I also like wine. I'm a wine connoisseur, so I've studied wines. I've gone to all kind of wine classes. I can tell you how to pair wines and things like that. But like but I'll also have my white drinks. So I'll have if I'm feeling real Sex in the City. It's I got different moods for different personalities, different hoop sizes. So maybe I get a Cosmo. It just depends. But I just I don't drink much, but when I do drink, I know what I will drink, if that makes
sense. So, and that was really insightful. That actually, if anything,
and the only reason I got this is because one of my bosses suggested it. But
what kind of alcohol is White Claw? Seltzer?
It's a seltzer, so I believe it has to be a white liquor because you couldn't put a brown liquor in this, but I don't know what kind. But it's a seltzer water. And so my boss came down here to come do some work with me, and she was just like she likes White Claws because it's like hydrating and drinking at the same time. So that's the only reason I got this.
That's interesting. That was kind of like the bubble water you were
Hmm.
talking about, which is interesting. Or
The Perrier, yeah, you know I like Perrier, so yeah.
wow. Okay, so and yeah, could you? So I know we've talked about the paralegal field that you have experience in, and you've definitely also shared your thoughts about law, right? But
Wait, pause. Let me. I'm about to be the bougiest black bitch ever. Don't paralegals, please don't get offended. But oh no, baby, I got a JD. Like paralegals, JDs, two different things.
JD,
Yeah, so like I'm an attorney, but I'm just not a practicing attorney. I can't practice.
okay,
So I went to law school. So you have paralegals, which are just as intelligent as any attorney. They do most of the attorney work, but it was more work that went to get into my degree than it went to getting a paralegal
right.
certificate.
No, thank you
That
for
was
that.
just me being snobby, but you gotta put, I just want to make the difference. But go ahead, tell
So you're
you.
actual lawyer,
Yeah, something
right?
like that. Yeah, yeah.
But okay, just so I'm clear, because and that's really the basis of my question, because I got
Right.
the impression that you were in it, but now you're just kind of chill off it, but you have it, but it looks like you still work as a lawyer.
So so okay, so I'm gonna because a lot of people don't know this, and I didn't know this. So this is for all the chocolate girls who look like me, who don't who want to go to law school and don't know anything about it, and like you don't look like what a lawyer should look like. You don't speak like what a lawyer should speak like, but you intelligent, and these hoes be sleep on you. This for you. So all right, so when you go to law school, it's a 3-year process. So you have to have so one, in order to be a paralegal, you don't even have to have an associate's degree. You can just get a paralegal certificate. I would suggest to people, especially if you do want to get in the legal field, they get paid a lot of money, and it's very, 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 very beneficial. Um, so do it. I met a lady that was a paralegal, and she probably will make more money than I ever made, like ever make in my life, because like she was a paralegal. So don't ever sleep. I'm not discrediting, but it is two different things. Just
Wow.
so but paralegals make a lot of money, and it's an easier way to go about doing kind of the same thing. So there's that. So think about that's a different path. But I went to law school. So law school, you have to get a bachelor's degree, and then you can go to
To a
law
law
school.
school. Right,
Yes,
right, right. Okay,
yes.
okay.
And so law school is 3 years. So
Wait, I have a question.
okay.
So I have a bachelor's degree. I can apply to law school even though I graduated in communications.
Yeah, hell yeah. You have to take the LSAT first.
Right, that's true. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha.
But absolutely, the higher your GPA is, the lower your LSAT score can be. I got into law school by the grace of God. It was my mission to go to law school. That's what God wanted me. That's the only reason I got there. But the higher your LSAT score, the lower your GPA can be.
If
So
you wanted to be a judge, you have to go to law school.
you have to go to law school.
All
Yes,
right, wait, 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 wait,
yes. So I went to law school. I graduated from law school. It's a 3-year program. I graduated in 2.5 years. Um, so once I graduated from law school, you have to take something called the bar. I took the bar, and so when I went to, so I'm first generation me. Well, not first, kind of second generation, first generation me. So I didn't really understand the bar process, what really went into law school. But you have to, after you graduate from law school, you are a lawyer, but you cannot practice law. That means you cannot go into any courtrooms, you cannot represent people, you cannot give any legal advice. You just
After you take the bar exam?
no,
After
before
you
you take it.
graduate.
After
Okay.
you graduate, yeah, after you graduate, you're not a lawyer. You're a lawyer, but you're not a practicing attorney. So
Oh,
you have something called a JD. So when somebody can call you doctor, if I said to call me Doctor Coates, that would be a thing that's
you can call
actual.
lawyers doctors?
Absolutely, we have a Juris Doctorate.
What?
Absolutely, and the United States is the only place that they don't call lawyers doctors. Everywhere else in the world, they respect them like that. A
Oh,
lot of people don't
that's
know that though.
crazy.
Right, right. But you could call me doctor technically, but I'm not on that shit. I don't even really be liking that. I tell people that shit just to flex sometimes, but I don't really care about that for real. Like
Right.
I just be wanting to be like, cause you thought I was a bitch, ho, bitch. I sue your stupid ass, and we ain't beef like that. So you have a
Yeah.
Juris Doctorate, but then in order to practice and represent people and give legal advice, that's why I always tell you I'm not giving you legal advice. I can't give you legal advice because it's illegal for me to give you, like, I can go to jail for giving you legal advice. You know what I'm saying? So once you actually pass the bar, then you're a practicing attorney. Um, I've taken it twice. Wait, I've taken it twice. I plan to take it again one day. I'm not gonna ever tell anybody when I take it. I'm gonna just take it. But it's a very tedious test. It's a hard test. Test is a very complex test. Law school is not for everybody. It is a very hard thing to do. It is a very hard skill. It is a mentally. It is a mental feat. And if you're not up for the mental task, you will not succeed. And the bar will mentally defeat you if you allow it to. It's not designed for people of color, so you have to learn how to think a different way.
Wow.
And I'm just being honest with you. Like, you can take it or leave it. You could fight the hypo or you can not fight the hypo. But the sooner you accept reality, the quicker the change can come. Hello, somebody. But that's law school. That's what, so I
It's a
went to law.
language in itself.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like teaching somebody, and I try to explain it to people very often. I'm like, it's like teaching somebody Chinese. Like when you I tell everybody to get an attorney because you need somebody who speaks that language. You need somebody who speaks the language of the courts. And when you hire a lawyer, that's what you get. You get somebody who can speak the language. It's like hiring a translator. It's like going to China and hiring a translator, and you don't know any English. I mean, you don't know any Chinese. I think it's very important. But they got some crummy people who will take your money and take advantage of you. And there's some people who learn how to take tests and pass the bar and become attorneys, but couldn't tell you fucking their hand from their face. So there's
No,
that.
you inspired me so much because I wasn't really. I'm doing this 2-year astropsychology diploma course, so I wasn't really looking to pursue a master's. But like, I mean, you kind of inspired me to potentially pursue law school. I don't think I'd get into law school.
Oh,
But
you would absolutely get into law school, and you would absolutely pass the bar on the first time. Absolutely.
really,
You would. You absolutely
would
would.
you think it'd be worth it?
I think, okay, so my questions to you would be, why are you going?
That's a really good question. So, I mean, I wouldn't, I wouldn't mind. No, that's a really good question. Because at first I was thinking I wouldn't mind being a judge in a court or defending somebody as like a defendant or as like a defense attorney. But then I realized law school probably has so many more specializations like entertainment law and then giving legal advice. I wouldn't really even know where to begin. So I think I would have to research what more I could do.
I think that is it is law your passion?
No, that's a really good question. Like law to me just seemed like a professional degree that's just too complex and just too much language. But um I feel like now that I'm older, because my attitude in college back then was, oh, let me just finish this and get out. But now I feel like I could approach this like something that I really want to learn to apply. But that's a good question. I couldn't say it's a passion because I don't know enough about it, to be honest.
I'll
And
say
that
this.
does seem like something that you would have to love to like do.
It's
Because again,
it's beneficial if you can afford it and you can get it for free, do it. If you're gonna take the time to do it. But if you don't have money for it and you're trying to go get it, like, it gotta be something you want. It gotta be worth it has to
it has
be
to be
worth
worth
it.
it. It has to be worth
It
it.
has to be worth it. You
Yeah.
can't just play with it because it's expensive. It's the reason why this knowledge is so expensive. They want to keep it out of your hands for a reason, if that makes sense. Right.
But and that's what I meant to say. I feel like it would be worth it to have that kind of knowledge too. So I'm glad you said it like that.
It's phenomenal knowledge to have, and I tell you, I just think differently, and that's just and so I have a but and just it's just cool to think this way. I just have a good camouflage. Like people don't know that I think the way I think. So like I look dumb, low key. It is what it is. I look dumb a little bit. They be like, "Who is this bird bitch with tattoos and shit?" And then I have this knowledge that I paid a lot of money for, and it's some of the most beneficial things. It's like, and the one thing that you gotta understand is knowledge the only thing that they can't take from you. Like they can take everything, they can take all your worldly possessions, but they can't take what you know.
No, that's true. That's so true. And I I think maybe I would, because I used to the only thing with law that I know about is this handheld cane called Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So that inspired me to want to be a defense attorney, even though real life is not like that video game, right? But like just finding clues and like objection, and then you just like this evidence doesn't go with this testimony. But I'm pretty sure real court is not like that at all.
And let me tell you, and I was just telling somebody this the other day. I absolutely love practicing law. Like when I was in it, like oh man, it was like people would come up to me and be like, you are an amazing attorney, and
True
I'd be like,
social.
what? And it was I was like phenomenal at it, and I don't hype myself up much, Mike. But let me tell you, in the courtroom. I used to be so cocky. I'll walk up to a motherfucker and be like, "You don't want to see me in the courtroom," like because I was good. I was good. I was talented, but I also had
Isn't your moon
skill.
in Libra too?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's a wrap. Oh, it's a
And
wrap.
so I would
I wish I could
orate
see you in the
so
court.
yeah,
Damn.
and everybody is like, and it's so funny because everybody, like all my friends, everybody I went to law school with, they be like, "You sure you don't want to be a lawyer?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm sure." Because I'm good, Mike. I'm good at it, but it's just not just because you're good at it doesn't mean that's what you're called to do. But what I do, okay. So kind of going into what I do. So what I do is it the legal realm does touch it, but I manage documents for a living. I manage different documents for different corporations. So
Oh,
so but I do have, my legal knowledge does play into that. But I'm not I don't use my lawyer skills, but it does help. But in what I do talk to law students, so I do get to help guide those kids based off of the things I learned while I was in law school. But
and quick question. So
mhm.
everything you learned, is it specific to just being like a defense attorney, or you could be a prosecutor if you wanted to?
Okay, so listen. So when I worked for the public defender's office, and I've also worked for the DA's office. So when you go to law school, it's just like college, and so you have your core classes that you have to have. Like so, you have these, like how you have to have math, English, these things. You have these certain classes that you have to have. So you have to have like torts. That's your battery assault. You have to have con law. You need to understand constitutional law. You have to have criminal law. You need to understand criminal law. You have to have
Criminology, right?
yeah. You have so it's certain. You have to have civil procedure. You need to understand how civil procedures go. Like so, you got criminal law and you got civil law. You have these classes, but you also get electives. I used to love my electives. Like your electives are all the cool classes. So I took sports law. So that's where I learned contracts and entertainment law. And so that's why
Entertainment law, right, right,
yeah.
right. Yeah.
So when I talk to you all the time about what like our contracts and things like that, that's where I learned that information. I
Right,
took some electives that I took I took civil rights 1983. It teaches you about when a police officer or when an actor of the law has acted so egregiously that they can be tried as a criminal. Like so you get to take different electives as to the things that you would like to do or the things that you're interested in. And you can specialize in certain things. And so in order to practice certain things, you have to specialize. Like you can't be a criminal defense attorney and give family law advice if you are not a family law attorney, because you could
so his
fucking get disbarred.
specialization, right? Okay.
Yeah, you could get
So it's like
disbarred and be in
medicine, where
trouble.
like you could be a heart
Yep.
doctor, or you got to take the basics, but then you could
hmm
be like a brain surgeon, or you could be like a foot doctor.
hmm
Okay, that makes sense. No, you're right. Cause like at that level, like it's so intense, and it's like, you know, if you don't love it, it's just gonna be overwhelming. That was my experience with engineering, and that's actually why I changed my major because it's like I don't love this, and I at the time didn't know that communications was a major. Like I didn't know there was broadcast journalism. I was like, oh, this is way up my speed. Like I would actually like enjoy this, and I really did like the classes too. Even though now, if it was me now, I would have just finished my engineering degree, just so I can have that.
Mike, you should have. Okay, so listen. All right, let me run this by you. I'm about to run a business plan by you. All right.
Right.
Um, listen. You probably should have finished your engineering degree because what we gotta understand is so you can make money moves and you can make passion moves. So you gotta understand what you want to do first. I decided right now I'm making a money move. Which in my money move I'm making I run into my passion. So technically, so I learned the mechanics of what I do. That's a money move. Engineering is a money move. Like it's not that I hate what I do. It's just that it's you're smart. You can learn how to do anything. So what is it that you can learn how to do? You can do it easily, and you'll be happy doing it. So that's what I tell. That's how I would tell you to make money. So that's
And that was
that's.
that was the original decision
Hmm.
because engineering made money. But what the reason why I decided to change my major is right when I was at the upper level classes for engineering, and God bless this man. This dude just came into class like, all right, y'all, let me just tell you the truth. Some of you people think that you're gonna get a degree and you gonna get a job. Nope. The market is like he just gave us all the facts. He said there's someone I know who has a master's degree that's gonna be competing with you when you get out of college. So he was just letting us know all that shit they told us about you get because it does pay good. It does pay good, but he just kind of like dropped more of the myths around, oh, you get it and you'll get a degree because it's not really like that anymore. But still, it would have been worth the knowledge. Like he gave me a real look at the job market, but
Mm.
my attitude at the time was not like it's like now. I wasn't trying to, I was skipping classes. I was experimenting
You
with
hadn't
drugs.
gone through your fucking Saturn return,
I
Mike.
thank you
Buddy.
exactly, exactly. So it is what it is, and I mean, I feel like college for me was more networking, and I met the people I'm supposed to meet. But yeah, I mean, I would have. I'm thinking back on the basics I learned with circuitry and how it's so enriching for me. So it's like, damn, if I finished that degree, like I would have had a really good knowledge of electricity.
But that's okay because you went the way you were supposed to go, and that's the thing that people don't get. Like, I went to law school, and I'm in a different field, but I'm in a field that I'm supposed to be in. You don't like I'm probably I accomplished it. I was listening. Listen, I'm a hoe ass person. I'm a bitch. So I'm about to say some old shady shit. So it's this bitch I don't fuck with. Like she a simp hoe. But sometimes bro clocks is right what twice a day, right? So she said, don't worry about she said, worry about the what, don't worry about the how. So my goal was to help people. It was to help change the world and to really have an impact on the community and society. And I wanted to do that by going to law school, but I realized by when I was sitting in the courtroom one day that I would not be able to make the change I wanted to make. So that's the what I was like, so what I do
Wait,
right now.
could you say that one more time? Because I want to make sure I heard you right. Because that was the impression I got too. It's like you're really good at doing what you do, but you realize despite how good you are, you wouldn't have there wouldn't have been a change that makes it worth you practicing
Hmm.
it. Okay,
Hmm.
that's real.
And so I kind of fell into what I'm doing now, and the crazy thing is I affect so many lives that and not on because I don't like to I'm a secretive person. I don't like to tell what I do, but just for illustrative purposes, I affect so many lives every day by doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? And it's not by happenstance. It was because I went to law school, but the what I got what I want accomplished but it wasn't how I thought it would look. It wasn't I thought it would look
Right,
like law
right,
school. I thought it
right.
would look like an attorney, but it looks like a completely different thing, and I'm just as happy, and I'm probably making a bigger change doing what I'm doing because it allows me to be the hope dealer, allows me to, to do so many different things. So don't worry about the what, worry about the what, but just don't worry about the how. You and a lot of people, that's why a lot of people miss out on their blessings because they be stuck on like, well, I wanted to be a lawyer, so I'm going down this lawyer path, even though all of the cards, everything that's around me, all of the circumstances is telling me that I shouldn't be, but I'm stuck on what I think it should look like. And that's why people miss out on their blessings because they be stuck on what they think it should look like, and they don't be open to what the possibility of what it could really be. And you said that in one of your cosmic tune-ups, and that really stuck with me. And that's when I was like, okay, I fuck with the boy. He kind of understand what life about.
Thank you. Yeah, and even you saying that right now still struck a chord with me. Like it's very deep. Because everything you said about that, I can say about this, what we do and what I do here. Like I didn't expect success I got doing this to be what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know it was possible
Mm-hmm.
going in doing this. So, I'm very grateful. And yeah, my next question for you though is, and honestly, I'm gonna just be taking notes while you answer, but like, somebody shoots their shot at you and they take you out on a date. So what's that date look like that like totally impresses you that they do?
The date would be interesting because it's crazy. Like I'm really a simple girl. Like so you gotta understand. I'm from the country. We're from Louisiana, so I'm simple. I ain't never had much. I ain't never been to too much. It would just be a thoughtful date. It would be something that lets me know that you thought of me, that you paid attention to me, not paid attention in a creepy way, but just like I care about you and I'm attentive to you. And so it don't matter. It could be to the Eiffel Tower, or it could be in the front room with a fucking blanket and some nachos. Um, it just something that shows me that you care. I'm that type of simple person because I've had a lot and I've had nothing. And so really what really matters is the thought that you put into it. So it was a post that you had posted and I could not fucking find it. But one post that I did see today was you were just like, if I get married, I'm not going to give my wife a ring. I'm gonna give her something that I made with my hands and would infuse with my energy. I probably would appreciate that way more than a carrot. Now don't get it twisted. I like a carrot too, but like I'd appreciate something that's just as thoughtful as that. Like I can give myself, my dad always taught me I could give myself whatever I want. I could give you gotta be able to give me something I can't give myself. If I want a fucking
Mm,
carrot, I could put a fucking carrot on my finger. If I want to
mm,
take myself out
it's
to,
real.
you know what I'm saying, I can do that shit for myself. So give me an experience that I can remember, and that's the perfect day for me.
And it made me realize I was thinking about the other day too. I was like, fuck, I almost wish I didn't post this because like I was thinking about how difficult it would be. Like if I wanted to marry someone right now and I'm like, shit, I actually have to learn how to make this go. And of course, the right person wouldn't mind waiting. And I'm
Yeah.
not trying to make anyone wait, but that just made me realize like before I think about marrying someone, think about how difficult it is to make an industry standard ring. Because I'm not trying to make no arts and crafts ring. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm thinking you talking about twigs and vines, my
right?
man.
No, like I would
Please.
have to learn metallurgy and like really do it, and however long it'll take. And it's like, wow, like if you think about how difficult that is to do, my cat moon is like that's how difficult a marriage will be. So like that's why I'm pushing myself to do that. So it's like you know what you're getting into,
I
and
don't think that, and so unpopular opinion, I don't think marriage is difficult. I think that settled for marriages are difficult.
well, let me rephrase that because I didn't say it in the right way.
Okay.
Basically, what I was meaning to say is that's how much effort I should put into a
Mm,
partnership. That's how much work I should put into it.
okay. I'll take
And
that. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and thank
Okay.
you for correcting me because that's a better way to say it. That's a better way to say it.
Yeah, you gotta put in effort. Like people don't put in, like people stop. I don't know. Like you gotta constantly date. Like I told my homeboy, I say, look, my one of my goals is to like I work out because I want my husband to be happy to like walk down the street and be like, hey, you see my bitch though? You know what I'm saying? Like I want my man to be like, ain't that bitch smart too? She not just fine, she's smart and she got her own shit. But I take care of
Queen,
her.
Queen
Yeah, yeah,
Rob.
yeah. Like, but I want that. I want my man to be proud of me. But like, it's not just for him. I like looking at myself. I like feeling good. I want to be healthy, to live long, and spend all my time with him and my family. You know what I'm saying? And like a lot of women, a lot of people don't get that. Like, but that's one of my things. Like it's an intentional thing in life, and so like, and I want my husband to be able to be my best friend. So ain't no hard marriage. Like, hey, babe, that football getting out of control. Let's go to the gym together. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that.
That's deep. And yeah, I mean, that's what also motivated me to take my exercise more seriously,
Mm.
get into because and I mean it just really revealed a lot of my resistance towards companionship really just reveals more of how lazy I shortchange myself because um what was I even trying to say with this? Basically, like, right? I swear I was about to say something, but basically, like, yeah, I've no problem working out, but
Don't settle, Mike. Don't listen. Listen to me. If I could give you any
definitely
advice,
not really.
don't settle. Like it's a bunch of hoes that want to suck. Like, and it's so funny because you so nerdy. You don't even know it's bitches that'll just suck your dick on. Like I'm Mike, and you just whoop that shit out, smack on the face with it. But like you just like that's just not you. You're such a gentleman. Keep that. That's gonna get you a good wife. But when you get a wife, smut her out. Like that's the key to a good marriage. Like
Hmm.
for real. All girls want to be smutted out. Like, but they don't ever want to be looked at as less, if that makes sense. All girls are sluts. They just don't want to be called sluts in front of everybody else. Call
That
me a
was the
whore, but not
best
in front of
advice.
other people.
That was the best advice I got all around. I'm not gonna lie. Really was it right there. And uh
Treat her like a lady in the streets. Like don't ever let nobody disrespect her. But when you get her in the house, you better fucking call her all kind of sluts.
no, I needed to hear that because that's the thing. It's not like I don't. I love. I really do admire being a gentleman.
Mm.
But the reason why I don't let that sexual side out of me is because it's been suppressed my whole life. Like,
Ah,
thank you. Like, I've only
okay,
grew up around women, and like
okay.
from a young man, I was taught you're not supposed to do that.
And
So it's literally like it's
okay,
like I
okay,
have to fight myself every time I do
okay,
that, and like
okay.
I want
Because
to
you
be
feel dirty.
sexually,
You're like, oh my god, I shouldn't treat a woman like this. But
right, right, but
yeah, yeah.
I want to be sexually liberated so
Okay.
much, like, and I feel like I'm on
Oh,
the verge to. I feel like I'm on the verge of it. It's just a lot of
the, the
sorry,
right woman, the right woman.
right,
Listen, the right woman will guide you out of it. Like
right, like
yeah,
right,
she'll guide you out of it. She'll teach you she'll teach you how to love. She'll teach you how to. She
yeah,
will
yeah,
make you feel comfortable in your manness to like.
to do that. Okay,
It's like the lion submitting to a person. It's like choosing you to submit to. You know what I'm saying?
no,
But a
that's
lot
so
of
true.
like, are you worthy of that submission? Um,
Right, that's true too.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah. And you
and
gotta be.
that's why I forgot what I was gonna say, but that's why I definitely want to rededicate myself because now working out, it's easier for me to like get in shape because now I know. Okay, I know I know people say do it for yourself, right? But I'm like I like my body, I like my belly. But now it's like if I know I'm doing it to offer my vessel, right, for as a love making instrument, then that kind
Let
of
me tell you, let me tell you, it's nothing like looking at a sexy ass man. When you sexy, like when you just sexy, like, oh, let me tell you, listen, when you just a sexy person, look at bitches throw themselves at you.
yeah,
Like,
that's
yeah,
right. That's
like
facts.
that's the thing.
Yeah,
So think of it like if no other for no other motivation, but like, oh my god, these hoes gonna love me. Oh my
no,
god,
that's
these
a
hoes
fact. That's
gonna
a
love
fact.
me.
That's a
Oh
fact.
my god, these
It's
hoes
just
gonna
there's
love me.
also the stubborn part of me that's like, How is this? How are my titties and my belly not sexy? Like y'all.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you.
Back.
All right, let me ask you. How is it not sexy? So when after you suck your bitch titties, can she suck yours? Huh? Y'all gonna say Sarah sucking titties? You bi now? You transgender, bitch?
No, I just kind of like to think of it like a cuddly bear, but because like some of them like the dad bod, but on some real shit. At the end of the day, like
we love all bi and transgender people. Okay, go ahead.
I don't even have to say what I'm about to say is redundant, but you're right. Like it's always worth it to just stay fit and give these women what they want. You feel me? Like what's wrong? Like I gotta get my Chippendales on. Like I have to at least get hold that. How else am I gonna have my OnlyFans? Like it is what it is. So yeah, I feel you on that. I'm ready. Like we get it. And I can say hold me to this. Day 15 starts tomorrow, so I feel like I'm gonna go 15 straight days, and then I have 2 more workouts. So I would say by the end of the year, my body should start coming in.
Listen, we about to like in conjunction with Candace helping you with her ritual moon magic. We're gonna have you taking all kind of slutty thought box pictures. You're gonna have hoes lining up outside your house, okay?
Well, that's the thing. Like I started thinking about that yesterday too. I was like, I want to rebrand my whole Instagram and actually like start taking pictures and just posting pictures and stuff and like just kind of organize
all this shit.
Shout out to Hank. He said he's gonna send me some baby oil.
Hey.
Yo, that's crazy. I love it. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm with it.
So we're gonna get you together. No worries. We're gonna get you nice and together. All right. I'm trying to see if there's anything else on my little list. Okay, so before we go, I want to talk music with you. So I've been waiting to talk music with you. So Drake Kanye album, how you feel about it?
Okay, so my thoughts about Drake is that I've always known Drake's pen is top tier. This is a songwriter.
Absolutely.
Right. Like I don't care what anybody says. Like Drake is
somebody write that down. Drake's pen is top 10. Put pen is top 10.
Drake's pen is top tier. Like
Drake's pen is top 10.
Right. If like that's one of those artists where he's allowed to have a ghostwriter because he ghostwrites for other artists. You feel me? And there was that whole talk. Like I had my whole opinions about, oh well, can someone who has ghostwriters call himself the greatest? But then I realized he also ghostwrites for people. And the only reason why I don't care, even if he does, is because I've heard his first 2 mixtapes, Comeback Season, Room for Improvement. Like those are classics. Like I know that he can write. So I don't consider myself a Drake fan, even though I'm not gonna say I fucks with Drake like I know him personally, but I know Drake is that dude. Like I know he sets the standard. Cool. So the only criticism that I have about Drake is I know he knows his fan base. He's not trying to make music for dusty niggas that like hip hop. He's a saucy dude.
Yeah, he a wavy nigga.
Right. So like that's what I felt about CLB. Like it was for the bitches. It was for the woman. You feel me? Like it was for the lovers. And it was for the woman.
It was certified lover boy. It was that. It was so a serenade to all his hoes.
It wasn't my album, you feel me? Okay, and that's not a critique. Like he doesn't make music for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's a good move. I think as an album that he did, it was a good album. I'm just trying to hear more locks. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hear What a Time to Be Alive Drake. I'm trying to hear like the real hip hop Drake. And that's not a criticism to him because he knows what he's doing for his family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a good album. It's just I know if Drake wanted to put out some gutter shit, some hip hop shit, he could. So that's just kind of how I feel. Like, damn, I'm trying to hear that Drake, but that's not what he has to do. I'm not saying that he has to do that, but that's really what I felt about CLB. He sings to the goddesses, you know what I'm saying? And like, I just like more like ignorant type music. Like I enjoyed Tyler's album. Tyler's album wasn't really ignorant, but like it just had more, it was artistic too, but it is. Donda, I slept on Donda. At first, the first listen, I thought it was mid, but that shit grew on me a lot. Like
Donda
Champagne
has
Poetry.
nice-esque songs. It has some. I have yet to sit and listen to all of Donda. Like I was enticed to listen to Certified Lover Boy, but I'm a Drake fanatic. Like I am that crazy Drake fan. So
I listened to both albums one time through, and for both albums, there are like 3 or 5 songs that I played over and over.
okay.
The only song I really liked on CLB was the first half of Champagne Poetry, and then of course, freaking You Only Live Twice, certified banger. You only
And so you know what? I agree with you. And so to that point of the first part of Champagne Poetry, Drake needs to stop doing so fucking much with these songs. It'd be like a banger until you add this shit, Drake. Like it'd
It
be
was
like
still good. It was still good
good.
though. It's a great song. It's just more from my taste. Like I don't think the song was bad because of it. It's just more my bias personally.
I'll take
Like
that.
right, but it's a
I'll
good
take
song.
that.
Great song.
I'll take like I'm like it is a good song, but I'm like, yo, listen, Drake, chill out. Like you could
Drake be doing too much.
yeah,
Drake
he
be
do. I
doing
mean, like we
too
could have left
much.
this off. We could have left this shit
Oh, the
off,
way
my
he
boy.
started that album was gangster. I'm not
It
gonna lie,
was.
but it's like, damn, like that's what it is. Like we haven't heard from this nigga in 2-3 years, and he starts that album with "I've been mad ever since the day my son was born." Like, word, that's how you feel? Bro? Like, okay,
Let's
like,
talk about it. You're
right,
you're in your true Scorpio feelings. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
And
And
it
so
makes me think, like, what kind of music would we get if Pusha T never dropped that song? We would not get CLB. We would not get Scorpion like this. Like, we would have had a totally different Drake. That shit would have been interesting. But the
thank
quality
God
would
for
still be
Pusha
good.
T.
Well, no, see, and this is where you have to give Drake credit. If it was any other rapper, their career would be over. But Drake is still topping charts and he's still breaking records like that. You have to give it to him. Like that's some goat shit. Like no one else. And he got washed. He got washed. And his career did not suffer at all, which is fire. Like that's amazing.
So how you feel about the? Don't judge me for my half-eaten chicken sandwich I'm about to eat. But
I mean,
but how you feel about the Drake and Meek Mills being friends again?
oh, okay. Well, that's the thing. I didn't even really listen to Meek Mill like that. I thought Meek Mill
Okay.
was a little corny, and not because he
Okay.
was corny, right? No, not because he was corny. It was for superficial
Mm-hmm.
reasons. Because
Mm-hmm.
like I had the impression that he's just like the roly rapper. You know what I'm saying? And it was because of the beef he had that I ended up respecting him so much more.
Okay.
Because after the EP, the way he handled the beef. And that's what I noticed. Like the way certain people handle beef and conflict really show me who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he handled the Drake beef versus, Drake dropped the whole like the classic, right? Like I can't back to back. And then everyone was like, oh, his career's over, his career's over. And then Meek Mill had dropped the mixtape right after that. And I listened to it and I was like, yo, he's fire. And then I actually listened to like the first two again, and I was like, no, I was sleeping on him. Meek is actually fire. And the way he kind of handled the beef after, I started to fuck with Meek because of that. So the fact that they're friends again, I think that's dope. I think I think they see more the long-term business moves in it. And I think they genuinely like squashed it and went over it. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm glad Chris Brown and Drake squashed that too, because as businessmen, like they don't need to be beefing. So.
And No Guidance is fucking my favorite song album. Like, have you ever watched the video? Like, that's my very favorite video of like entire life.
The music video to No Guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, I was just jealous. I was like, man, they got all the bitches. and I don't have a 6-pack like Chris Brown. I ain't trying to watch
You
it.
could have all the bitches now with no 6-pack, but once you get this 6-pack, like bitches are gonna be lined up outside of your door to suck your dick. I'm excited for it.
I'll live stream it too.
Yay!
Oh my god. That's crazy. Ali Angel said, write her a song, right?
All right, Mike. I'm getting off of here with you because I gotta pee and I've been drinking too much.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. This is a great comeback episode. And next
Absolutely.
time I'm definitely gonna come prepared too with like killer questions. So
And so next time we are supposed to be interviewing Mike's beautiful sister.
yes,
I don't
yeah.
know if y'all listen to her, but y'all need to go find her. If you haven't, her video is on Mike's page somewhere. Go find that shit. We're gonna
The
be
album
talking
is
to
called
her.
Bitter, and we're
Bitter.
gonna interview Chelsea. So I'm gonna reach out to her and make sure she's available, and that should be a really good episode.
Not next weekend, but the weekend after that, we will be back interviewing Mike's sister. We appreciate you. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you. This was a good episode.
Yeah.
Welcome. The comeback show. We here to stay, bitches. Hit that
Yep.
fucking like button on y'all way out. Dope.
Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.